The text message came through at 2:47 p.m. on a Wednesday afternoon. Lauren Mitchell was in the middle of reviewing a contract for her law firm when her phone buzzed on her desk. She glanced at the screen and saw it was from her mother. She smiled, expecting a sweet message or maybe a photo of the family dog. Instead, the words on the screen made her heart stop. "We don't trust you anymore. We need space from you. Please don't contact us for a while." Lauren read the message 3 times, certain she was misunderstanding something. But the words didn't change. Her parents, the people who had raised her, supported her through law school, celebrated every achievement, had just told her they didn't trust her. No explanation. No phone call. Just a cold, brutal text message that felt like a knife to the chest. If you've ever been blindsided by the people you love most, if you've ever felt the crushing pain of being accused of something you didn't do, this story will hit close to home. But before we dive into Lauren's nightmare and the shocking truth she's about to uncover, I want to invite you to be part of this community. If stories about real family struggles, about standing up for yourself when everything feels impossible, resonate with you, please subscribe. Your support means the world and helps us keep sharing these important stories. Now, let's get back to Lauren, sitting at her desk, staring at a message that's about to turn her entire world upside down. Lauren's hands were shaking as she tried to call her mother. Straight to voicemail. She called her father. Same thing. She sent a text back, "Mom, Dad, what are you talking about? What happened? Please call me. I'm so confused." The message showed as delivered but not read. They were ignoring her. Lauren felt panic rising in her chest. What had she done? She ran through every interaction with her parents over the past few weeks. The family dinner last Sunday had been normal. Pleasant, even. Her mother had hugged her goodbye and told her how proud she was of Lauren's recent promotion to senior associate at the law firm. Her father had asked about her fiancé, Jake, and they'd talked about wedding plans. Everything had been fine. Perfect, actually. So what had changed in 3 days? Lauren tried to focus on work but couldn't. The words kept repeating in her mind. "We don't trust you anymore." Trust about what? She hadn't borrowed money from them. She hadn't asked them for anything. She'd been independent since graduating college, paying her own bills, building her own life. What could she possibly have done to lose their trust so completely that they'd cut her off with a text message? At 5 o'clock, Lauren left the office early, something she never did. She drove to her parents' house in the suburbs of Philadelphia, her mind racing with possibilities. Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe someone had hacked their phone. Maybe this was a misunderstanding that could be cleared up face to face. She pulled into the driveway and saw both of her parents' cars. They were home. She walked to the front door and knocked, her heart pounding. Her father, Robert Mitchell, opened the door. His face was hard, closed off in a way Lauren had never seen before. "Lauren, we asked you not to contact us." "Dad, what is going on? Please, just talk to me. Tell me what I did wrong." "You know what you did." His voice was cold, distant. This wasn't the warm, supportive father who had taught her to ride a bike, who had walked her down the aisle at her law school graduation, who had cried tears of joy when she got engaged to Jake. "I don't know. I swear I don't know what you're talking about." Her mother, Patricia, appeared behind Robert. Her eyes were red from crying. "How could you, Lauren? How could you steal from us?" The word steal hit Lauren like a physical blow. "What? I never stole anything from you." "Mom, what are you talking about?" "The money from our vacation fund. $2,000, gone. And Vanessa told us everything." Vanessa. Lauren's older sister. 29 years old and living back at home after her divorce 6 months ago. Lauren felt something cold settle in her stomach. "What did Vanessa tell you?" Patricia's voice broke. She told us that during our family trip to the beach last month, you went through my purse when we were all at dinner. You took the cash we'd saved for the trip. Vanessa saw you do it, but she didn't want to believe it. She's been protecting you, trying to give you a chance to confess. But you never did. And now the money is just gone. That's not true. Lauren's voice was steady despite the panic coursing through her veins. Mom, Dad, I would never steal from you. Never. Where is Vanessa? Let me talk to her. She's not here. And frankly, Lauren, we don't want you in our house right now. Vanessa said you'd deny it. She said you'd try to manipulate us. We need time to process this. Process what? A lie. Dad, you know me. You've known me my entire life. Have I ever stolen anything? Have I ever lied to you about money? Robert's expression didn't change. We thought we knew you. But Vanessa has no reason to lie. Why would she make this up? I don't know, but she is lying. Please, let me prove it to you. Look at my bank account. I have money. I don't need to steal from you. This doesn't make any sense. But her parents were already closing the door. We need space, Lauren. Please respect that. The door shut in her face. Lauren stood on her parents' front porch, tears streaming down her cheeks, feeling like she'd just stepped into an alternate reality where everything she thought she knew about her family had been turned upside down. She drove home in a daze. Jake was there, working from home as he usually did on Wednesdays. He took one look at her face and pulled her into his arms. What happened? Lauren told him everything. The text message. The accusation. Vanessa's lie. Her parents' refusal to believe her. Jake's face grew darker with each sentence. This is insane. Your parents know you better than this. Why would they believe Vanessa over you? I don't know. But I need to figure out what's really going on. Vanessa didn't just randomly decide to accuse me of theft. There's something else happening here. Over the next few days, Lauren tried everything to reach her parents. Every call went to voicemail. Every text was ignored. She tried reaching out to her aunts and uncles, but they'd been told by her parents not to get involved in family business. Lauren was being frozen out completely, all because of a lie her sister had told. But why? That was the question that haunted Lauren. She and Vanessa had never been particularly close, but they hadn't been enemies either. They were just different. Lauren had always been driven, focused, ambitious. She'd excelled in school, gone to a good college, then law school. She'd built a successful career. Vanessa had taken a different path. She'd gotten married young, worked various retail jobs, and seemed content with a simpler life. Lauren had never judged her for it. If anything, she'd admired Vanessa's ability to be happy without the constant pressure to achieve. But now, sitting in her apartment, Lauren started to remember small things. Comments Vanessa had made over the years. Little digs disguised as jokes. Must be nice to afford a place like this. I guess some of us are just smarter than others. Mom and Dad always liked you best. Lauren had brushed off these comments as sibling teasing. Now, she wondered if they revealed something darker. Lauren decided to do what she did best, investigate. She started with the timeline. The family beach vacation had been 4 weeks ago. It had been a long weekend in Ocean City, Maryland. Lauren, her parents, Vanessa, and Vanessa's 10-year-old daughter, Sophie, had all stayed in a beach house. Lauren tried to remember every detail of that trip. The money had supposedly gone missing during a dinner out at a seafood restaurant. Patricia had mentioned bringing cash because some places in Ocean City didn't take cards. She'd had the cash in her purse. According to Vanessa, Lauren had taken it when everyone was distracted. But Lauren could prove she hadn't. She pulled out her phone and started going through photos from that trip. There. A selfie she'd taken with Jake at the exact time dinner was supposedly happening. They'd FaceTimed because Jake had been stuck at work and couldn't come on the trip. The timestamp showed 7:23 p.m. And in the background of the photo, Lauren could see her parents and Vanessa sitting at the table. Her mother's purse was hanging on the back of Vanessa's chair, not Lauren's. More than that, Lauren had receipts. She'd paid for her own meals on the trip using her credit card. She pulled up her banking app and took screenshots of every transaction. She'd paid for ice cream for Sophie. She'd bought groceries for the beach house. She'd filled up gas. All with her own money. Why would someone who was spending her own money need to steal cash? Lauren compiled everything into a document. Photos with timestamps. Bank statements. Credit card receipts. A detailed timeline of the entire trip. She even found a photo that Jake had taken when they FaceTimed, showing clearly that Lauren was outside on the deck of the beach house when the dinner was happening, not inside going through anyone's purse. The evidence was irrefutable. Lauren hadn't stolen anything. Which meant Vanessa had lied. But it also meant something else, something that made Lauren's blood run cold. If the money really was missing, and Lauren hadn't taken it, then who had? If this story has you on the edge of your seat, drop the word "betrayed" in the comments. Because what Lauren is about to discover will change everything she thought she knew about her family. And make sure you're subscribed because you won't want to miss how this unfolds. Lauren sent an email to her parents with all the evidence attached. Mom and Dad, I'm attaching proof that I did not steal from you. Please look at this with an open mind. I love you both, and I would never hurt you. Something else is going on here, and I need you to see the truth. She hit send and waited. 1 hour. 2 hours. 6 hours. No response. Finally, the next morning, her mother called. Patricia's voice was quieter than before, uncertain. Lauren, we got your email. The evidence is compelling. But Vanessa is insistent that she saw you. She said you could have manipulated the photos, changed the timestamps. She's very upset that we're even questioning her. Mom, those are my bank statements. From the bank. I can't fake those. And you can call Jake. He'll tell you we were on FaceTime during that dinner. I know, honey. I know. But Vanessa has been so helpful since she moved back home. She takes care of Sophie, helps around the house, and she's going through such a hard time with the divorce. Why would she lie about something like this? What would she gain? I don't know, Mom. But I do know I'm telling the truth. And if you believe Vanessa over actual documented evidence, then I don't know what else I can do to prove my innocence. There was a long silence. Your father and I need to talk to Vanessa. We'll get to the bottom of this. But days passed with no resolution. Lauren's parents said they'd talked to Vanessa, who had cried and insisted she'd seen what she'd seen. She claimed Lauren must have taken the money at a different time, that the timeline was confused. She said Lauren had always been manipulative, always able to talk her way out of trouble. She painted a picture of Lauren as a master deceiver who had fooled everyone her entire life. And incredibly, horrifyingly, Lauren's parents seemed to be buying it. Not completely, but enough to maintain their distance. They were giving everyone space until they could figure out the truth. As if the truth wasn't already crystal clear in the evidence Lauren had provided. Lauren felt like she was going insane. How could documented proof mean less than her sister's word? What kind of hold did Vanessa have over their parents? Then Lauren remembered something. A conversation from a few months ago. She'd been at her parents' house for Sunday dinner, and Vanessa had asked to borrow $500. Lauren had said she couldn't lend the money because she was saving for the wedding. Vanessa had smiled and said it was fine, that she understood. But there had been something in her eyes. Something cold. Something that looked almost like hatred. Lauren called Jake. I think I know what this is about. Vanessa asked me for money a few months ago, and I said no. I think she's been planning this revenge ever since. Revenge for not lending her money. That's insane. I know it sounds insane. But think about it. Vanessa is living at home, divorced, struggling financially. I have a successful career, a great fiancé, a wedding coming up. She's jealous. And when I wouldn't help her, she decided to destroy me. Jake was quiet for a moment. What are you going to do? I'm going to find out the truth. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows it. Lauren hired a private investigator, the same firm her law office used for difficult cases. She gave them everything she knew about Vanessa, where she worked, who her friends were, her social media accounts, her financial situation. I need to know if my sister is lying about me. And if she is, I need to know why. The investigator, a woman named Carol Peters, took the case. Family cases are always the hardest, she said. But if your sister is lying, we'll find out. 2 weeks later, Carol called Lauren into her office. What she showed Lauren was worse than anything Lauren had imagined. Vanessa had been messaging with a friend named Brittany for months. The messages were casual at first, but they'd taken a darker turn after Lauren refused to lend Vanessa money. In one message from 3 months ago, Vanessa wrote, "I'm so sick of Lauren acting like she's better than everyone. She has everything handed to her and she can't even help her own sister. Someone needs to knock her off her pedestal." In another message, "I think I know how to make mom and dad see what Lauren really is. If they think she stole from them, they'll finally see she's not the perfect daughter they think she is." And the most damning message, from 2 weeks after the beach trip, "I did it. I told them Lauren stole the money. They believed me. She's freaking out and trying to prove she didn't do it. It's actually kind of funny watching her scramble." Brittany had responded, "Wait, but you're the one who took the money, right?" Vanessa, "Obviously. But they don't need to know that. Lauren deserves this for being such a selfish bitch." Lauren stared at the messages, feeling sick. Her sister hadn't just lied about her. Vanessa had actually stolen from their parents and then blamed Lauren. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This wasn't jealousy spiraling out of control. This was calculated, deliberate destruction. But there was more. Carol showed Lauren bank records that revealed Vanessa was in serious financial trouble. She had over $30,000 in credit card debt. She'd been borrowing money from friends and family members all over Philadelphia, small amounts here and there that added up. She'd even taken out a payday loan with a predatory interest rate. "Your sister is desperate," Carol said. "And desperate people do desperate things. I think she was planning to ask you for money again, and when you refused, she decided to punish you while simultaneously getting cash from your parents by staying in their good graces." Lauren felt tears of rage and hurt streaming down her face. "How do I prove this to my parents? We have the messages. We have evidence that Vanessa took the money. We can present all of this to them." "But Lauren, you need to prepare yourself for the possibility that they still might not believe it. Sometimes people don't want to see the truth, especially when it's about their own children." Lauren took the evidence home and spent the night deciding what to do. She could send it to her parents with a simple explanation. She could confront Vanessa directly. Or she could do something bigger, something that would force her entire family to face the truth. She chose the third option. Lauren created a group text with her parents, Vanessa, and several other close family members, her aunts, uncles, and her grandmother. She attached screenshots of Vanessa's messages with Brittany. She attached the investigator's financial report on Vanessa. She attached her own evidence proving she'd been nowhere near her mother's purse. And then she wrote a message that she'd been composing in her head for weeks. "To my family, 3 weeks ago, my parents sent me a text saying they didn't trust me anymore. I was accused of stealing money from them during our beach vacation. My sister Vanessa claimed she witnessed me going through mom's purse and taking cash. I provided extensive evidence proving my innocence, including photos with timestamps, bank statements, and credit card receipts. Despite this evidence, my parents chose to believe Vanessa's word over documented proof. I've spent the past 3 weeks trying to understand why my own family would turn against me so completely. Now I know the truth. Vanessa lied. She didn't just lie about seeing me steal. She stole the money herself and blamed me for it. The attached messages between Vanessa and her friend Brittany prove this beyond any doubt. Vanessa took the money. Vanessa lied to our parents. Vanessa deliberately tried to destroy my reputation and my relationship with my family. And she did it out of jealousy and spite because I refused to lend her money months ago. But this message isn't just about exposing Vanessa's lies. It's about something deeper. It's about the fact that my parents chose to believe the worst about me with almost no evidence. It's about years of subtle favoritism that I tried to ignore. Vanessa has always been the one who needed more help, more support, more grace. And I've always been the one who was expected to have it all together. When Vanessa failed, it was understandable. When I succeeded, it was expected. I was never given the benefit of the doubt. I was guilty until proven innocent. And even when I proved my innocence, it wasn't enough. So here's what I'm going to say, and I need all of you to really hear this. I am done being treated like a second-class member of this family. I am done being the person you turn to when you need something but don't defend when I need you. I am done accepting breadcrumbs of love and trust while Vanessa gets the full meal despite repeatedly proving she doesn't deserve it. To my parents, you have a choice to make. You can acknowledge that you made a terrible mistake. You can apologize, genuinely and without qualifications, for believing I was capable of theft. You can recognize that your favoritism toward Vanessa has damaged our family in ways that may be irreparable. Or you can continue to make excuses and maintain the status quo. If you choose the latter, you need to understand that I will not be part of this family anymore. I will not attend family dinners. I will not come to holidays. I will not invite you to my wedding. I will build a life with people who actually trust me and believe in me. To Vanessa, I don't know if you feel any guilt for what you've done. I don't know if you're capable of understanding how deeply you've hurt me. But I want you to know that I see exactly who you are now. You're not struggling because life has been unfair to you. You're struggling because you make terrible choices and blame everyone else for the consequences. You stole from our parents. You lied about me. You tried to destroy my life to make yourself feel better about yours. That's not something I'll ever forgive or forget. To everyone else reading this, I'm sharing this because I'm tired of suffering in silence. I'm tired of protecting people who don't protect me. The truth is out now. What you choose to do with it says more about you than it does about me. I'm moving forward with my life, with or without this family. Lauren hit send before she could second-guess herself. Then she turned off her phone and collapsed on the couch, emotionally exhausted. The response was immediate and explosive. Within an hour, her phone was flooded with messages. Her aunts and uncles were shocked. Her grandmother was demanding a family meeting. Friends who had been included in the group text were expressing support and disbelief. But the messages Lauren cared about most were from her parents and Vanessa. When Lauren turned on her phone the next morning, she found 15 missed calls from her mother, 8 from her father, and 1 voicemail. With shaking hands, she listened to the voicemail. It was her mother, and Patricia was crying so hard she could barely speak. "Lauren, honey, I am so sorry. We confronted Vanessa with the messages you sent. She admitted everything. She took the money. She lied about you. She's been lying to us for months about so many things. Your father and I are devastated. We failed you. We chose to believe the worst about you when we should have known better. Please call us back. Please give us a chance to make this right. We love you so much, and we understand if you can't forgive us, but please just call us back." Lauren listened to the message 3 times. Her mother sounded genuinely broken, genuinely remorseful. But was that enough? Could sorry fix the weeks of pain and isolation? Could it erase the fact that her parents had believed she was a thief? Before Lauren could decide whether to call back, there was a knock at her door. She opened it to find her father standing there, tears streaming down his face. Robert Mitchell looked like he'd aged 10 years overnight. "Lauren, I need to talk to you. Please." She let him in. They sat in her living room, the silence heavy between them. Finally, Robert spoke. "I have never been more ashamed of myself in my entire life. You are my daughter. I've watched you grow up, seen your character, know the kind of person you are. And when Vanessa made that accusation, I should have immediately known it was impossible. But I didn't. I let my concern for Vanessa, my worry about her struggles, cloud my judgment about you. I treated you like you were guilty when you deserved the presumption of innocence. That's not how a father should treat his child. That's not how anyone should treat someone they love." Lauren felt tears burning in her eyes. "Why, Dad? Why was it so easy to believe I would steal from you?" Robert's voice broke. "Because Vanessa has needed us so much since her divorce. She's been so fragile, so vulnerable. We've been walking on eggshells around her, afraid she might fall apart completely. When she came to us with this story, crying and upset, we just believed her. We wanted to support her. We failed to realize that supporting her shouldn't mean automatically disbelieving you. You chose her over me." "Yes. We did. And that was wrong. Lauren, I don't expect you to forgive us immediately. I don't expect you to just forget this happened. But I need you to know that we see our mistake now. We see how deeply we've hurt you. And we want to do whatever it takes to make it right." "What about Vanessa?" Robert's face hardened. "Vanessa is no longer living in our house. We asked her to leave yesterday. She's staying with a friend. We've also told her she needs to get professional help. Therapy, financial counseling, whatever it takes. But she cannot be part of this family until she takes responsibility for what she's done. And if she doesn't, then she's made her choice. Your mother and I have spent years enabling Vanessa's worst behaviors because we felt sorry for her. We thought we were helping her. But all we did was teach her that she could manipulate us and face no consequences. That ends now." Lauren looked at her father, seeing genuine remorse in his eyes. "Dad, I need time. I need to process all of this. I can't just pretend everything is okay now. I understand. Take all the time you need. But please know that your mother and I love you. We're proud of you. And we're sorry. We're so sorry." After her father left, Lauren sat alone with her thoughts. She felt a strange mixture of relief and anger. Relief that the truth was finally out, that her parents believed her, that Vanessa had been held accountable. But also anger that it had taken a public confrontation to get to this point. Why hadn't her parents believed her evidence the first time? Why had it taken weeks of pain and investigation for them to see the truth? Over the following days, more information came out. Vanessa had been borrowing money from their parents for months, always with sob stories about unexpected expenses. She'd convinced them to pay for Sophie's private school, her car repairs, her medical bills. Patricia and Robert estimated they'd given Vanessa over $15,000 in the past year alone, none of which had been paid back. Vanessa had also been lying about job interviews, claiming she was trying to get back on her feet while actually spending her days gambling online and shopping. The financial mess she was in was entirely of her own making, but she'd convinced their parents it was all bad luck and unfortunate circumstances. And most heartbreaking of all, Vanessa had been telling Sophie that Lauren didn't care about her, that Aunt Lauren was too busy with her fancy life to spend time with family. Sophie, who Lauren adored, had started to believe she'd been abandoned by her aunt. The depth of Vanessa's deception was staggering. And Lauren realized that if she hadn't pushed, if she hadn't investigated and exposed the truth, Vanessa would have continued manipulating their entire family indefinitely. 2 weeks after the group text, Lauren's grandmother called a family meeting. Everyone was invited except Vanessa. Lauren almost didn't go, but Jake convinced her she should hear what everyone had to say. The meeting was at her grandmother's house. When Lauren arrived, she found her parents, 3 aunts, 2 uncles, and her grandmother waiting in the living room. Everyone looked uncomfortable. Her mother had clearly been crying. Lauren's grandmother, Margaret, spoke first. "Lauren, I asked everyone here because I think some things need to be said. I've been watching this family for 78 years, and I've seen patterns that nobody wants to talk about. So I'm going to talk about them now." Margaret looked around the room, her gaze sharp. "Patricia and Robert, you two have been favoring Vanessa over Lauren since the girls were children. You didn't do it consciously, but you did it. Vanessa struggled in school, so you focused your attention on her. Lauren excelled, so you assumed she didn't need you. Vanessa made poor choices, so you protected her from consequences. Lauren made good choices, so you had higher expectations for her. Over the years, you created a family dynamic where Vanessa learned she could manipulate you and Lauren learned she couldn't depend on you. That's why when Vanessa lied about Lauren stealing, you believed her. You've been conditioned to see Vanessa as the victim and Lauren as the one who has it all together and doesn't need support." Patricia was crying openly now. Robert had his head in his hands. But Margaret wasn't finished. "This isn't just about this one incident. This is about years of subtle messages that told Lauren she was loved conditionally, based on her achievements, while Vanessa was loved unconditionally, regardless of her behavior. That's not fair. That's not healthy. And if you want any relationship with Lauren going forward, you need to acknowledge this pattern and commit to changing it." Margaret turned to Lauren. "And you, sweetheart, you need to decide what you're willing to accept. You don't owe your parents forgiveness just because they're your parents. You don't owe them a relationship just because you share DNA. You get to decide what your boundaries are and what you need to feel safe and valued in this family. Don't let anyone guilt you into accepting less than you deserve." The room was silent. Then Patricia spoke, her voice shaky. "Mom's right. About all of it. Lauren, I look back now and I see so many moments where I failed you. When you made honor roll, I said, 'Good job,' and moved on. When Vanessa passed a class, we celebrated like she'd won a Nobel Prize. When you got into law school, I worried it would make Vanessa feel bad, so I downplayed how proud I was. When Vanessa got divorced, I dropped everything to support her. I've spent so much energy managing Vanessa's emotions that I forgot to consider yours. You've always been so strong, so capable, that I forgot you needed me too." Robert nodded. "We took you for granted. We assumed you'd always be okay because you always have been. But that doesn't mean you didn't need support, encouragement, and trust. We should have believed you immediately when you said you didn't steal. We should have questioned why Vanessa would make such a serious accusation. We failed as parents, and I don't know how to fix it." Lauren felt tears sliding down her cheeks. "I don't know if you can fix it. You can't give me back the weeks I spent thinking my own parents saw me as a criminal. You can't erase the pain of being shut out and ignored. You can apologize, and you have. But I don't know if that's enough." "What would be enough?" Patricia asked. "Tell us what you need." Lauren took a deep breath. "I need consistency. I need to know that the next time there's a problem, you won't automatically assume the worst about me. I need to know that I matter as much as Vanessa does, that my feelings are as important as hers. I need you to set boundaries with her and maintain them. And I need time. I need time to trust you again." "We can do that," Robert said. "All of it. Whatever you need. And I need you to understand that my relationship with Vanessa is over. I don't want her at my wedding. I don't want to attend events if she's there. I don't want to hear about her or have you try to mediate between us. She tried to destroy me. That's not something siblings work through. That's something you walk away from." Patricia started to protest, then stopped herself. "Okay. If that's what you need, we'll respect it." The family meeting continued for another hour. Other relatives shared their observations, their support for Lauren, their disappointment in how the situation had been handled. By the end, Lauren felt emotionally drained but also strangely lighter. The truth was out. The patterns had been named. And her family was at least acknowledging the damage that had been done. Over the following months, Lauren's parents worked to rebuild their relationship with her. They attended therapy sessions with her, both family therapy and individual sessions. They made efforts to celebrate her achievements without qualification. When Lauren got a big case at work, Patricia called to congratulate her and didn't mention Vanessa once. When Lauren and Jake set a wedding date, Robert offered to help with whatever she needed and didn't ask if Vanessa would be invited. The changes were slow and sometimes awkward, but they were real. Lauren began to believe that maybe, possibly, her family could be repaired. Vanessa, on the other hand, never apologized. She sent one text message to Lauren, "I hope you're happy. You've turned everyone against me. You always have to be the victim." Lauren didn't respond. She blocked Vanessa's number and moved on. 6 months after the group text that had exposed everything, Lauren got married. It was a beautiful wedding at a vineyard in upstate New York. Her parents were there, crying happy tears and telling anyone who would listen how proud they were of their daughter. Vanessa was not invited. Some relatives whispered about it, but Lauren didn't care. This was her day, and she got to decide who shared it with her. During the father-daughter dance, Robert whispered to Lauren, "I know I don't deserve to be here. Thank you for giving me another chance." Lauren hugged him tighter. "You're doing the work, Dad. That's what matters." It wasn't a fairy tale ending. Lauren's relationship with her parents would never be quite the same as it had been before. There would always be a small part of her that remembered being accused, being doubted, being pushed away. Trust, once broken, is hard to fully repair. But they were trying. That counted for something. As for Vanessa, Lauren heard through family channels that she'd eventually gotten therapy and was working to address her financial issues. She'd apologized to their parents, though Lauren noted that no apology ever came to her. Vanessa had also started a relationship with a new man, and the family hoped he might be a good influence. Lauren hoped Vanessa found happiness. She really did. But she hoped it from a distance. Some betrayals are too deep to forgive. Some relationships are too toxic to salvage. And that was okay. Lauren had learned that choosing herself wasn't selfish. It was survival. On her first anniversary, Lauren and Jake were looking through their wedding photos when Jake asked, "Do you ever regret it? Going no contact with Vanessa? Confronting your family so publicly?" Lauren thought about it. "Sometimes I wonder if there was a gentler way to handle it. But honestly, no. I don't regret it. If I hadn't forced the truth into the open, I'd still be the family scapegoat. My parents would still be enabling Vanessa. And I'd still be wondering what I did wrong. Sometimes you have to burn everything down to build something better. My family isn't perfect now, but at least it's honest." "I'm proud of you," Jake said. "It took guts to stand up for yourself like that." "I didn't have a choice. I couldn't live with being treated like that. Nobody should have to." So what would you have done in Lauren's position? Would you have sent that group text exposing your sister's lies? Would you have given your parents a second chance, or would you have walked away completely? Drop your honest thoughts in the comments. And if this story resonated with you, if it reminded you that standing up for yourself is never wrong even when it's hard, please subscribe. We share stories like this every week, stories about real people facing impossible family situations and finding the courage to choose themselves. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next one.